Hello guys, so welcome back to the channel again. So today we are going to be looking at the distributed deployment with log server alongside what we have been deploying on this channel. And we see that we have a security management server alongside the log server here. It's a dedicated log server. I want to set this up in such a way where logs from our security gateway will not be stored on the security management server, but is going to be stored on a dedicated log server. And also we have our domain controller here that's equally going to act like a DHCP server. We'll see how to be able to implement some access control and some rules, and equally DHCP to make sure that our end devices can receive IP addresses dynamically from our DHCP server that's going to be hosted here. So we'll just go straight into it. So right now, the only implementation that has already been done is just the installation of our operating system, but the first time configuration wizard has not yet been set up. So we just need to make sure that routing through this a smart console PC that's going to be managing the SMS, and the SMS will be managing this firewall. But first, we need to access all these checkpoint appliances from our smart console PC via the browser for the first time configuration wizard to be done. So with that being said, I'll just go to our router and we'll try to go ahead from there and set up the different configs for it to work. So I'll just go into the router here. I'll expand it to have that expanded view. And once we are here, I'll just take this here. So once we are here, we'll just try to do the configs. Hopefully it does not waste us time. We'll just enter these interfaces and set our IP addresses as they should. So while we're in here, I'll just go to the configure terminal. I'll do the int gi0/0. Hit enter here, and for gi0/0 interface, we'll put the IP. We'll put our subnet max. We hit enter here, and we are going to take no shot there. We'll enter the next interface. We'll enter the next interface gi0/1, and once we are there, we'll put in the IP address, that's 10.10.10.1. And we'll put the subnet max. I think we need to put IP address. So put in the IP, and they'll take no shutdown. To bring the interface up. We are then also going to enter our next interface, that's gi0/2. An IP add, we'll put the IP address 10.2.2.1. The 0, and we'll take no short as well. I will enter the last interface that's going to this interface 10.0.0.1. Then we'll take IP add. We need the IP add in front of it to add the IP address. And we're also going to include the subnet max .0. So once we do that, we take the no shutdown as well, and the interface there should be up. And also looking at the network here, realize that this router is connected directly to 4 networks, but it's not connected to the network behind here. So we're going to have to set a route telling this router if it receives traffic that's going to this specific network, it should forward it to this interface of this security gateway here. So we're just going to create that route now rapidly. Let's see. Let's check our IP addresses to see if everything was all set. If we take the do show take a do show IP interface brief, we can see that yeah, we have created the 0, 1, 2. Let's check through the 0. Yes, let's confirm it. This 1, 1, 2, a new 1 is lacking. 0, 1, 2. The third one is should be up. Then the 0, 0, 1. I think yes. Yes, I think there's a mistake on one of the interfaces. So if we look through 0/0 as an IP, that's okay. 0/1 as an IP, that's okay. 0/2 has the wrong IP address. Yes, 0/2. We need to change that. And I'll just do the int gi 0/2. We'll enter that interface first. And I'm going to just take no IP add. Yes, I'll just take no here. This is not supposed to be here. And when I take no here, and then I'm going to input the correct one, that should be this one. Yeah. And then here we take no short, and then I'll do int gi 0/3, and then we'll do the IP add now with the respective IP address. This one is supposed to be here. Oh, I don't need to put no, I'll just put it here as IP add, and I'll take no short. And with this, yes, it's up now. So if I take do show, let me shift myself. So if I take do show IP interface brief, we should be able to see 4, and all of them are up respectively. Yes, so that's good. And we'll just go ahead and configure the route. We'll take IP route. If the destination is 172.16.1.0, the subnet max of this, forward it to the interface of this router here, that's 192.168.2.2. So that's going to be our route for that, and we're just going to save the configurations in our router, do write memory. So these are just basic networking commands we need to know, at least to make sure that connectivity goes through our router to the respective entities here. So I'll just go straight here to our Smart Console PC, and once we are here, from there directly we'll just try to set up our IP address on our device, and we set up an IP address on our device to match this IP, equally our gateway, and also we try to access the first time configuration wizard where we set this up to match the respective servers that they are to run. This is going to be our security management server, our log server, and our security gateway. So while this opens up, we'll just go ahead and set our IP address on our Windows 10 device as usual. So we'll just go ahead and input our IP address, and our IP address there is 10.10.10.10, and the subnet max is /24. Just maintain that for the lab environment. And also for the gateway, it's going to point to our router, that's 10.10.10.1. So that's what we have here. And with that being said, we don't have a DNS server yet here. I'll just take OK. And once we take OK, I'll equally just take OK here to save our IP address. And IP address is then set. So once this is done, the next thing is we need to just open a browser here to set up our different checkpoint appliances to their respective setups that they have to be using the graphical user interface. So just I'll close this, and I'm equally going to close this as well. I'm going to open up our Chrome browser. So once our browser is open, the next thing that we're supposed to look forward to doing, we're supposed to get into our security management servers. And while we are here, I'll just hit HTTPS, and we'll log into our SMS :// the IP address of our SMS is 10.2.2.10. So we'll just put in the IP there. Let's check through. Yes. Now hit enter. So Alice is reachable. We hit advanced. I'll take proceed here. So from here, we'll put the name we use for installation. You put the name that matches your environment. You probably put admin123 as well. And I'll hit login. We are going to do the same process for the log server and for the security gateway. So I'll just bring in the log server here as well. I'll open a new tab, and I'll hit in HTTP. But this time around, the IP address is 192.168.2.10. We hit enter there. Also go to advanced, and we hit proceed. It's going to prompt us for the login as well. All of them will do same. Also, while that is booting up, you can also do same for the security gateway as well. 192.168.2.2. I'll hit the HTTP. We'll put in the IP, that should be the 2.2 for the security gateway. We hit enter there. So while we're here, we'll just put in the username. I'll refresh this. I don't think it loaded properly. Yes, so I'll just input the admin name, admin, and put in the password. And I'll come back here as well here. We'll just give it some time for it to go through. So you can see this is a security management server. We'll just set it up. So just take proceed. I think these steps are for those that have been following the channel by now. These steps should already be easier for you. You take on next here. This is a security management server. We take next. So I'll just put in the name here as the SMS. Put in the name as SMS here. I will take next on that. You call it take next as well. And we take next here. So while we're here, this is the point that actually helps us differentiate who is going to become the security gateway, or is it going to become the management. So I'll just put security gateway, and I'll allow it as a primary. So I'll put security management, and I'll allow it as a primary. And I'll take next, and I'll just take next. You can modify this if you want to, but we are going to allow that the way it is. And I'll take finish here. Likewise, we're going to do the same thing. I'll equally just take, let's go here. I'll take yes one to start with that. So I'm equally just going to go to our log server that this is a device we want to make to be our log server. So we'll just wait for it to boot up, and once it's ready, we are going to look at it and set it up as well. So for our log server, we'll just proceed with next. These are log server that has come up. We continue here and we equally take next as well. We proceed to next and yes, we equally just take next here. We can put the name, we can just give the name as log server. Can give it a name like that. We equally take next as well. If you have DNS set up, we are going to set this up subsequently. You can maintain the time as well. You click on next. So here as well, we'll just click on next here. This is just going to be, so now this is the log server is going to be it's going to be a security management server, but it's going to have just going to be a log server, dedicated log server only. And you take next. You equally take next as well. You take next, and you'll be prompted to input this key that's going to be used to establish that secure internal communication with the security management server. Make sure you put the key you put here, make sure you recall it because you will need it again. So you hit next and you take finish and you confirm that. So it's going to go through, and then once it's done, we'll come back to it. So we'll just go ahead and continue with our security gateway. We'll do the same thing. You click on next. You click next here, and also you also take next here. You have the ability, since it's a security gateway and have an interface here, we can just go ahead and configure it immediately here. That's 172.168.1.1. I'll just go ahead, I'll just configure it manual. Just put 172.168.1.1, and we're equally going to put the subnet max 255.255.255.0. And you can take next. The name, you can just give it a name like the SG. That's our security gateway. And we proceed with next. So with the timings, you can maintain the time since it's a lab environment, but in production, if you have an NTP server hosted locally or over the internet, you can set that up as well. But for now, we'll leave everything the way it is. And we'll just go ahead to what we have as security gateway. You go with the security gateway or that. And here now you uncheck security management and you leave the security gateway because we want it to just have strictly the firewall functionalities. So we'll keep that, and from here we'll just go ahead. We take next, we input our key 2. So after doing that, we'll proceed to next and we'll take finish. We'll take yes as well. So just hold on for all our installations to be done. And once they are all done, we'll get back to it and see how to make the lab work. So while we are waiting actually for the installations to be done at the level of the first time configuration wizard that we have just set up, we can go ahead and just be setting up the IP addresses of our devices here. So just go into our Win13 PC, we'll set this IP address and we'll set the subnet mask and also the gateway. And the preferred DNS server is just going to be pointing to this our local server here. That's going to be 10.10.10.11. 11. We'll do that here. 10.10.10.10 rather. Now hit OK. We just hit OK here, and that is going to be fine for the IP address. So this PC is going to join the domain, but we have not yet set up that yet. And also we are going to get to the I'm just going to cancel this. We'll also go to our domain controller here to set things up as well. And once you're in, you need to go to local servers here. I'm also just going to see the IP address. So we have an IP here that does not match what is on our network, so we'll just change it. It should be 10.0.0.10. So I'll just click here to change it. So here I'll change it to 10.0.0.10. we need to change that to 10.0.0.10. The subnet mark maintains, but the gateway changes as well to 10.0.0.10. Now the preferred DNS server, I'll just put itself 10.10.0.0.10, since it's going to be hosting the DNS server as well. So I'll do that and I'll take OK as well. And with that, we should be good to go. Minimize this and I'm going to I'll accept this for now. We're just going to refresh what we have here on our Active Directory server. Hopefully, if we go to our Smart Console PC, our system here is trying to reboot. Let's check our servers here. All of them are still booting up. They're still loading. Our log server is still in the process of the first time configuration wizard, and also our security management server is doing same. So just go to our domain controller. What are we trying to achieve at the end of the day in this lab? First of all, we are just trying to ensure that we have a security management server that's not ingesting the logs. We'll have a dedicated checkpoint appliance to ingest the logs. And we'll have a firewall that's set to filter traffic that's going through. And we equally need to set up DHCP for this particular devices here so they can receive an IP from the DHCP server that's located here as well. So we're going to do that. And once we do that, we'll set things up. We are equally going to set up Active Directory running here. And this Windows 13 PC has to join the domain. And we'll see how we can be able to create a firewall rule to ensure that traffic is controlled based on users, not based on IP addresses. We equally include DNS as well to set up the domains for these different devices to see how DNS can be implemented within our lab that we have. So I'm just going to go to it. Our IP address has changed. So the first thing is we want to get all the services that we need to make sure this our lab is running. So the first thing that I'm going to do, we are just going to go to to manage, and we are going to add roles and features. So here I'll go to next, and I'll take next as well. We equally take next again as well. And here we are going to take the Active Directory domain services. That's the first one. I'll add that. And also I'm going to take in DNS as well. We need DNS. I'll take that as well, and we'll equally take in DHCP. I'll add the feature there. So we'll proceed to that. I'll just uncheck the DHCP for now. I'll bring in the DHCP later. We just need DNS and Active Directory for now. So I'll just take that. We'll proceed to next, and next. Yeah, we equally take next again, and we're going to install all of that to make it work. So just give it some time for the installations to be done, and when we are back, we'll see how to make it work. Right, so once the feature installation is done, you can now click on close here, and you see that everything is already here. And you'll get this warning error here from your Windows server, and you can click on it here to set up Active Directory. So promote this server to a domain controller. So I'll take yes, we'll promote that. And once we are here, it gives us the options: add a domain controller to an existing domain, add a new domain to an existing forest, or add a new forest. So we'll normally take add a new forest. And when we're here, we're going to put in our domain name. So based on our design here, we'll put dobretech.local. So we can put the dobretech.local. By the way, if you're watching this video and you're looking for an environment where you can get to master how to set up labs like these and master interconnectivities, you can head over to www.dobretech.com. There actually you'll get enrolled and get your skills propped up to master this particular domain. So don't waste time. So right now we have the dobretech.local, and at dobretech.local, this is going to be our domain name that we have. I'll just click on next, and once we take next, we'll hold on. for that to come up. So when it's ready, we'll be prompted to put in a password here, and we'll confirm that password as well. So just give you some time to finish the processes in the background. So we'll just put the password here, and the password we're just going to simply put here. We'll just put an easy password. You can put whatever password of your choice. We'll click on next. Let me put, let's see. All right, just ensure to put a more complex password here, and that should fix the problem. You click on next, and it's going to generate the NetBIOS domain name based on our host name that we have within our system. So this is just how we set up Active Directory on the basic setup. So it gives us the protect 0. You go to next. So from here, you just keep the defaults. You probably move to next, and from here you take next as well. And when you're here, just hold on for the prerequisites to check. From there, we're going to install it, all that we have. So let's just hold on for all the prerequisites to pass the checks. So all the prerequisites are being checked. So now we can then install all our services to be properly set up. So we'll just install that and wait for it to get done. And once it's done, we are going to be ready to set up our domain controller. So once the installation is done, of course, we are going to close, and it's always going to prompt us for that reboot, since it needs to reboot to take effect. So that's going to, our PC is going to restart, and once it's done, the domain controller is going to be up and active. So we'll give it some time as well for it to set in, and from there we are going to be back as well. So while our domain controller is actually installing, it's restarting rather, we can see that all our different security management servers to our log servers and our gateways, the first time configuration wizard is all done. And also for the security management server, everything is ready. So now at this point, what we're left to do is we just need to bring in all of this to be managed at the level of the smart console. So I'll minimize this and I'll equally close this page here. And once that is ready, then we just need to log into the security management server with the right smart console version. And you need to make sure the smart console matches the version of your current operating systems of your Check Point Firewall. So just double click that. And things you need to also notice, your security management server, the version of the Gaia OS has to match the smart console. You can download it from the Checkpoint website. And the security management server has the ability to manage firewalls that are below it. The Checkpoint firewalls that are the OS versions are below it, not above it. So it's good to have that in mind. So with that being said, let's just proceed to see what we can do. So from there, we'll just log into our smart console. We'll just proceed to the login options here. And once it comes up, we're just going to bring in the security gateway and equally our log server there and make it to be the dedicated log server. We're going to make the security gateway to forward logs to the log server and not the security management server. So that's what we are going to do. And once that is done, then we create our policies to make sure that traffic is filtered based on users, not based on the different IP addresses to different devices here. And we'll set up our DHCP server as well. So let's just hold on for it to come up, and once it's ready, we're going to proceed with it. All right, so from here, we're currently logged into our smart console. And once we are here, these are SMS that's currently available here as well. The next thing we need to do is we need to bring in the log server And to bring the log server is just a checkpoint host for the log server. So take note of that. So you click on the checkpoint host, and you'll be given the option for the wizard here. We'll just wait for it to come up. So once our checkpoint host interface comes up, we can just give it a name as log. I'll just say log server, and we'll put in the IP address of our log server based on what we have on our design. We have 192.168.2.10. Put it there. .2.10, and from here you don't need to check any functionality here. This is just going to be, if you come to management here, you need to make sure you check in the login and status. So this is going to be its own function. Don't forget to check this. So this one makes it to be just a log server. It's not going to have management functionalities. It's just going to have the login functionalities. There's a smart event server and a smart event correlation unit. In subsequent videos, we'll see how to go in depth into that. But for now, this is just a log server here. Make sure you check this before you hit communicate to establish that connection with the security management server. So I'm just going to hit the pink icon here and I'll hit communicate. Token includes a reserved word. Okay. So let me close this. I'll close this welcome message and I'm going to hit communicate one more time. All right, log server. There's a word we are using here that is reserved. Let me use log serve and I'm going to hit communicate again. All right, so just make sure when you're trying to hit the communicate, make sure the log, there's no hyphen in between the log and the server. So make sure it's an underscore or any other character you want to, but don't use a hyphen. So I'll put the one-time password and I'm going to input that again and I'm going to initialize. Hopefully it should be trusted. So the communication is trusted there, the state is trusted. I'll close this and from here I'm going to take OK as well. So from here I'll just hit OK. I think we have established the connection already and it's going to be here. So just give it some moment for it to appear here. Just going to take a little, some few seconds for it to be here. And once it's here, we'll just publish the changes that we have just made to save it in the current database at the level of the security management server. So when we do that, we can proceed to bringing in our next security gateway here. This is a security gateway, so we are going to bring that in right away just now. Let me expand this. So we see. So I'm just going to bring in, click on this icon here for the new. We're going to bring in a gateway. And when you click on that, you hold on for it to come up. You are going to go the classic mode. We'll just wait for it to come up, and from there, we are going to finalize importing the different checkpoint appliances into the security management server at the level of the smart console. So once it comes up, I'll just close this and we'll put in the name here as SG and equally put in the IP address that we have. That should be 192.168.2.2. And before we hit communicate. You can equally make sure you can keep all of these, but we're going to take in identity awareness, but not now. We'll come later on and we'll check it once our Active Directory domain controller is up. I'm going to uncheck the anti-bot and antivirus blitz for now, and we'll talk about this in our subsequent videos. And for now, we'll just allow the firewall blitz to be up, and that is going to be it. After this, I can change the color if I want to. Maybe put something pink, and we can take communicate here to establish that connection with our security management server. So putting our one-time password there, and we'll take initialize. So the state is trusted, and I'm just going to take OK. We'll just hold on for it to complete. So that is done. I'll take close. It's reading at the two networks connected to that particular security gateway. And when that is done, I'll just come to the logs here. I'll hit the plus sign. And I'm going to go to local storage. For instance, let's see what we have. I'll just click on logs. You click on logs. We want to try to specify where we want the security management server, this security gateway rather, to be forwarding logs to. So that's what we want to specify. So just give it some time to come up. So currently here we can see that it's forwarding logs to the primary log server is the security management server. But you have the option here to add. You can hit the plus button here. And if the details have been saved, we should also see the log server. This is the log server here. We'll choose the log server, and I'm going to click on this SMS. I'll click on the minus sign to take it away from here. For the backup servers, I can add the SMS here for backup in case it needs to ingest logs. So I just hit the SMS here, and I'm going to just take OK. So that's how you can forward logs to a dedicated log server, and the SMS is going to be now the secondary rather for backups. So from here, I'll just take OK, and we are going to go ahead to proceed with the lab as we were doing already. So when that is done, I'll publish the changes that we have just made. So just hit publish. So that is saved. All right, so that is saved already. So now moving back to our domain controller, let's check if our domain controller is up. Yes. I'm just going to go back to our on-screen keyboard to leave this particular screen. We'll put in our password. Let me put in the password here. So put in our password, and from there we are going to log into our domain controller. Just give it some time. So our domain controller is currently up, and at this point we then have to make sure that our DNS is set up, and also we need to make sure that our DHCP server is equally running as well. So let's just wait for the startups to be done, and from there we are going to proceed to. So at the level of our smart console, where we have our security gateway, our log server, if you come to security policies, we realize that the default policy is set to drop all traffic. Temporarily for now, I'll just accept traffic, and then I'm going to equally take log the traffic, and I'm going to install that particular firewall policy on our security gateway, since that's the only security gateway that is being managed at the moment. So click on publish and install. Should publish the new changes. That's to save it to the security management servers database. And after that, it's going to then prompt us with the option to install the firewall policy that we just made. So we'll just install this standard policy package on our security gateway. So while it's installing, I'll just hit this and you can see the details. So just wait for it to be done. It's just installing on one security gateway that we have. Moving back to our domain controller, DNS is active and the domain controller is up. So now we're just going to set up, we're just going to set up DHCP as well. I'll just come to things like manage, and we're also going to add roles and features. Once we come to roles and features, we'll just hit the next button, go to next. And once we are here, I'm also going to check DHCP. So you can just go ahead here, you come to tools, and your DHCP DHCP server will be set up there. You can click on DHCP. We just set up the DHCP server. We have just one scope, that's just one network that needs the DHCP to be set up for. So I'm going to come here, I'll expand this so that we can also be able to see. I'll just try to expand this like this. And the DHCP that we have here, and so before we get there, you need to go to add roles and features, and then make sure you add the DHCP server. You click yes, you click next, and then you click next again. Click next as well, and then you install that particular feature, DHCP feature, because we need it. And once it's ready, then from there we'll come back to looking at our policy. Our policy is currently installed and everything looks just fine. So now within the lab you have here, everything is set here. Our security management, our security gateway has a default policy just to accept all traffic, but we will find that. So currently now we have our domain controller and we have a Windows PC here. When our domain controller is all set, it's going to join the domain as well. So we're going to also go to our domain controller here. We'll just wait for DHCP to be set. And once it's set, Then from there, we are going to proceed to completing the other tasks we have left to complete. So now, following the setup that we have, there are several other basic things we can be doing. First of all, we need to make sure that we actually have some users created for our Windows 10 PC to join the domain, for our Windows 13 PC to join the domain. So for that to happen, we're just going to come to tools here. And while we are under tools, you need to go to Active Directory, users and computers. We'll just give it a moment. So once it opens here, you will see this is our domain. You can click on it, doubletech.local. So it's going to come up like this. You can see the different users here. You can double click here as well to see the different users available. You see that these are the default users that are already available, but we'll just create a sample user just for the lab purpose. You can right click here and we'll just create a new user. I'll just take new and we're going to move down to new user. So we'll just give some details. You can just see the user's name is Dan. We'll just keep Dan the way it is. I'll just say Dan and we'll just give them the user login name is Dan and the user's password. We'll go ahead and set that up. User must change password at next login. We can just, since it's a lab environment, we just say user cannot change password. But in production, you want to always make sure the user changes the password at first login and next login rather. So we'll put in the password that we have. You can put in the password. And we'll just take next. We'll finish. So just create one user, for instance, right? So this is our user that we are going to create. And we can just create a group within here. Or let's just see, let's see, let me see which groups are here. So domain admins, I'll just hit here, I'll enter here, and I'll put this particular user to be part of the domain admins. For instance, I'll go to members, and I'm going to add a new member, and I'm going to currently add the member that we just created, Dan. I'm going to check for names related to that, and that's the Dan's fully qualified domain name. Hit OK, and that is part of the administrators there. I'm just going to take apply and hit OK. So that has been added to that particular group there. So now that that is done, the next thing that we can go ahead to do is to make this particular PC to join the domain. So I'm just going to go over to my computer here. I'll right click and I'm going to go to properties. Right here, I'm going to change the settings that we currently have here. It's currently set to work group. So currently, I'm going to change the work group state, that's the network ID. No, I don't think it's this. Let me change the domain. Yes, we need to change this to change the domain. So click on change. And once we are here, we shift from work group to the domain. And when we get here, you must make sure you type your domain name. That's double tech for what we said dot local. When we do that, you can take OK. If everything is fine, you should just be able to communicate with the domain controller and prompt you for the username and password to join the domain. So let's just hold on for that. Okay, it says Active Directory for the domain controller could not be contracted. Ensure the domain name is typed correctly. So let's just look at our domain name again. I'll just come to local servers here. So our domain name is dobrotech.local, and this is the IP address of the domain. So there are several things here we need to check. I'll just come here and check that. So I'll go to properties here, go to properties, go to IPv4. So this is where the error is. It needs to match. We don't have access to that domain. It needs to be 10.0.0.10. This is where the error came from. So I'll take OK there, and I'll probably take OK. And I'm going to close this as well. So I'll close this, and I'm just going to take OK one more time again. Yes, so it's going to prompt us for that domain. So we can put in done, and I'll put in the password that we created, test123, and read OK. So if all goes well, it's going to prompt us for a restart for us to be able to join that particular sector, that particular domain controller. So it shows welcome to dobrotech.local, and we are good to go. This device is going to restart. So I'll just take close here, and it's going to prompt us to restart now. We're just restarting now so you can properly join the domain. So while it's rebooting, we can go ahead to our domain controller here, and our Active Directory setup should be ready. A DHCP server rather. I'll close this. So while we are here, I'm going to proceed to tools, and our DHCP server should be ready here right now. I'll just click on DHCP. And we'll just create a single scope. So DHCP has opened correctly now. And once we are here, so once we are here, the next thing we want to do is hit the drop down arrow. And if you can see, it shows us we have some red icons here. You right click. Let me right click from here. I'm going to right click, and I'm going to authorize. I'm going to authorize this particular DHCP server, because right now it's not authorized. That's why we'll find these red icons beside it. But currently right now it has flipped green. So to create a first scope, since we're working with IPv4 addresses, you right click and you take new scope. I'll take next. Once we take next here, we can just say I'll give it a scope like scope 1, just a name. I'll just take next here. Now we can put in the start IP. Remember, this is our network here. We'll just reserve the first 10 IP addresses. I'll just start from 172.16, 172.16.1.10 to 172.16.1.50. So this is just a local environment, and make sure that the subnet mask here matches as well. So just make sure that the subnet mask here matches that /24 CIDR. So just make sure that that matches there, and yeah, from there you should be good to go. You hit on next. From here, we've already done the exclusions. We don't need to exclude again, but if you want to, you can go ahead. We can keep the duration, the least duration, the way it is for now. And also concerning DHCP options, we'll keep the defaults. And for the devices that are going to be receiving an IP, was going to be their gateway 172.168.1.1. Make sure you hit the add button to make it available there. We are going to go to next, and from here double-tech.local, that's the current domain name, and devices that connect is going to be their DNS server. Everything is set there. I'll click on next, and for Win servers, well, we are not going to be setting that up. We want this to be active immediately. Now I'll take finish. So that's how we normally set up our DHCP server. But now if you take a good look at where our DHCP server is and where the clients are, we have two different routers in between. So we must actually make sure that first of all, the router is going to be helping broadcast signals that are coming from our DHCP clients using the IP helper address. And also on the security gateway here, we need to make sure that for DHCP to work, we need to equally make sure that the devices, the security gateway is equally helping clients to reach their DHCP server. So you need the DHCP relay has to be configured on this particular interface here for the checkpoint firewall itself. So now to make that happen, what we are then going to proceed to do is we are going to go ahead and we'll just go to the Smart Console PC here. Hopefully our browser is open. We'll start with the router and we'll enter this interface G0/0 here. And I'll just enter the int GI0/0 and we'll do IP helper address. We'll put the IP address of the server 10.0.0.10. That's the IP address of the server, and you hit enter. And I'll just take do write memory. And also we are going to go to our Smart Console PC here. I'm just going to go back to the browser and we'll try to log into the security gateway using the Gaia portal, HTTPS, and that's the IP address of that particular security gateway. So once it opens up, we'll log in, and when we log in there, we are going to now put in, just log in. So we'll log in from here. Just give it some few minutes to some few seconds rather to come up. So these clients here, if everything goes well, then they should be able to get the IP addresses from the DHCP server. After that, we can equally set up DNS if need be, and we'll see how to set up the access control at the level of our firewall here. So once we are in here, the first thing we just need to do is you need to try to go to DHCP relay here. And when you go to DHCP relay, you need to just add. And once you're here, the interface that you're going to be setting it up on is ETH1 interface. So choose ETH1, and the IP address that's there is already there. That's the primary IP address. And I'll just put in the same IP there, 172.16.1.1. That's the primary IP address. We don't need any other there. And we need to add the relay server. What are we trying to help here? We're trying to help this particular IP 10.0.0.10. So put 10.0.0.10. So that's the IP address. You put it OK. So that's what you need, and you take save. So hopefully if everything goes well now, if we get to any of these our PCs here and we do something like IP DHCP, Everything should go well, and there you go. Device is just picking up an IP address. If we take show IP, for instance, you see it has gotten an IP address. It even picked the domain name. It has a gateway, and it knows it's DNS server, it knows it's DHCP server, and everything seems to be good for that. All right, so moving ahead now, we are going to set up DNS for our environment. And to set up that, we can also be able to set up DNS in our environment. Our laptop has joined the domain already, so that's going to be good. So our laptop has joined the domain. So let's first of all try to make these our devices to be able to join the domain if need be. Well, in our subsequent lab, we'll make them join the domain. So for now, we'll just try to make our devices to be able, we'll try to create a firewall policy using an access role, right? We can make the devices join the domain as well, but we're just going to try to create a firewall policies, trying to see how we can create the firewall policy using an access role. So to make that happen, what is going to happen is that we're going to go to our smart console PC here. At the level of the smart console, we'll go back to our gateways and servers. So once we are here at our gateways and servers, you need to go back to the security gateway. You can double click on your security gateway, and once it opens up, we are then going to enable the identity awareness blade, because we want to try to make the firewall to filter traffic based on users that are trying to access the system. So I'm going to go back to this our Win PC here, and I'll do Control Alt Del. I'll go to the on-screen keyboard with the Control Alt and Del, and I'm going to take none here. So currently we want to log in as a normal user, but I don't want us to log as a normal user. We'll go to other user here, and since I'll put in Dan, we want to log in here as Dan, and we'll put in the password of Dan. That's 1, 2, 3. Try to log in. So Dan's desktop is being prepared. So we're going to go back to our smart console here. So when it opens here, we need to make sure we choose identity awareness. So this blade is going to help the firewall to be able to filter traffic based on users that are trying to access the system. So we're just going to say query Active Directory. So because since our users are based on Active Directory, I'll take that and I'll take yes, I'll take next. And once we are here, I'm just going to put the domain name that we have, dubro.tech.local, and also we are just going to pull in the username. I'll just put in administrator. Since it's a lab environment, we'll put in the password here. I'll put in our password, and also the domain controller's IP, that's 10.0.0.1.10 rather. We'll put that and we'll try to connect to it. If all goes well, it should be able to reach it, and then from there establish that connection. If not, we are going to be able to do it manually as well. So let's just wait for it. So the connection was done and everything was successful. So from here, we are going to proceed with next. And when that is done, we'll just finish from what we have here. So the blade is open. So from here, we'll just hit OK. And that's the first part of things. We'll take OK. So now, with that being said, we just publish the changes we have made. I'll just publish that to save it at the level of our security management server. There are many more things we can do, like control users and be able to monitor the different admin sessions. But in subsequent videos, we are going to detail that all together. But in this particular lab, we want to see something vital here. So if you come here on these our policies here, you realize that we have just there's a cleanup rule, but we're going to create another rule here. So, but before creating that rule, we'll try to see how we can be able to create a group, an access role, and place some users in that particular access role group there. So we'll come to new, and when we come to new, we are going to go to more. And once we add more, we'll go to users and slash identity. We are going to go to access role. So once you create an access role, so creating a firewall policy on Checkpoint, you need this access role, not the user group, nor the user. You cannot be able to input the user as a source, but you can input the access role. So I'll just give it the name as access underscore role. That's going to be the name. And we want to filter through with users. So you click on users. And since we know we already have Active Directory pulled through here, I'll come to specific user groups here, and I'm going to take add. So when I take add, this option here is going to open up like this. So based on how you can see, it's already pulling information here from Active Directory. So based on what we configured there on Active Directory, we can be able to filter through the different I can just type from here, or even use the drop down arrow here. You can see the various options. So we're currently querying from the wtech.local, that's our Active Directory server. And currently from here, we need to make sure I'll just type domain, something like domain admins to search for that. If you can see that domain admin group, this is it here, the domain admin. This is the group where Dan is located in. So if you had multiple users, you can be able to bring them from within here. So just put that here, and within these domain admins, you can be able to see the number of users that are available there. So it's good to note that as well. If you want to put Dan specific, you can do that here. So I'll take OK. So I've created our access role. So the next thing that we'll do is for basic setups here, we're just going to create another firewall policy above this, and I'll create a new rule above. And within this new rule, we're going to create, I'm just going to give a name of the role here as an access role. We just say it's an access role, and the source, we'll say if the source is coming from anyone within the access role. This is a new access role that we just created. Anyone is coming from the access role, and the destination is we're going to create a new object here. This is our firewall object that we're going to create. That's 172.16 is the 172.16 network available here. We'll just create a new network object. I'll just go to network. I'll just see SGNet. So put in the IP address here of that network, 172.16.1.1. And also we are going to put in .1.0 rather. We are also going to put in the subnet mask, 255.255.255.0. And also with that being done, I'll just hit OK here. So if the source is coming from this dance PC, so this network here, that's the SGNet that we just created. we'll just take I'll just take any service for now. We can play around with that. We'll take accept as well. The main purpose of this is to show us how we are going to be seeing it at the level of the logs. You see, at the level of the logs, you'll not just see the source from an IP address to a destination IP address, but you'll be able to see the source coming specifically from Dan. That's how you manage users within a domain controller to be able to access the system here. So now, with that being said, I'm just going to install the policy. This is a basic policy. We are equally going to manage policies and see how they are being set. And again, for those looking forward to actually, if you're looking forward to increase your skills in this particular domain, head over to dobetech.com and try to sign up. There, your skills can be perfected to make you to be sharp in this particular domain of security as well. So now, I'm going to install this. We'll just install the policy that we have, and I'll go to the details here. And while we are here, we'll just hold on for it to be done with the installations. So from Windows PC here, from this our Windows PC 13, I'm going to search for CMD. That's a command prompt. We'll just do a ping. I'll open the command prompt here. So we are logged in currently as Dan. And from here, I'll try to ping. Let's look at our VPC2 here. The IP address that was given to us was 172.16.1.10. So we'll try to ping that and see through. I'll try to do the ping 172.16. 172.16.1.10. We just do a continuous ping so we can get logs to view the traffic. So currently traffic is going to that particular PC, and the whole objective here now is to be able to get to smart console PC here. The firewall policy has been installed. The whole objective is for us to be able to come to our firewall policy here and check through the logs to see, can we actually see some traffic getting through that? Hopefully we do. Let's just give it some time and see. Let's just wait for the search to be done. So currently it's not picking traffic here. And remember that we are currently logging traffic on our secondary log server. So if I go to log an event here, and while we are under log and events, I'm just going to go to the primary log that we have here to see what we have. So once we are here, you can come to log servers and you see the various log servers available. So here we have the options to see. We have the options to see logs coming in from all our log servers. And let's just give it some time. You should be able to see the source. Here currently we are seeing the source is coming from an IP address. These are different base traffics that we had before. I'm just going to uncheck this. And I'm going to refresh these logs again. You should be seeing logs coming in from the log server. Okay, everything is being sent to the log server. For now, let's go back to, I'm going to go back to both of them here. And I'm also going to refresh this to the last hour. Let's see. We are still waiting to see Dan as the source origin. Let's give it some time. We are definitely going to see it. Yeah, guys, so that's how it's actually done. And with that being said, I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. So don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more security related content. So see you guys in the next video.